Hello my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Navigating Wellness. In this episode, I want to share with you one of my most powerful natural remedies when it comes to addressing things like coughs, colds, flus, viral infections, bacterial infections, something that I found really effective in helping to address these types of issues. Now, as always, I'm speaking from my personal experience, something that I personally use. None of what I say is considered medical advice, so please do your own research when it comes to using a number of these natural remedies. I always tend to prefer to go towards natural remedies because they tend not to have these adverse side effects that many of your over-the-counter medications will tend to have. Antibiotics just absolutely destroy your gut microbiome and lead to all sorts of other complications down the road. So you generally tend to want to go for natural remedies that will do minimal damage when it comes to destroying your gut. And then you also don't want to give these bugs the ability to become super bugs by becoming immune to a lot of these antibiotics, as well as all sorts of other medications that we tend to use, which often have these nasty side effects. Natural remedies tend to work much more better because they're much more in tune with what Mother Nature has given us to remedy these types of situations. So like I said, this is one of those go-to remedies that I tend to always resort to whenever encountering these types of situations. Now, what is really great about oregano oil is that I call it the king of the 3 A's, which is it's antioxidant, it's antimicrobial, as well as it's anti-inflammatory. So people even suffering from digestive issues or gut inflammation, it can tend to similarly be beneficial from that perspective too, because it helps to reduce a lot of the inflammatory response that we tend to get from viral infections as well, while at the same time destroying a lot of the bacteria and viruses within our body. So oregano oil is just one of those powerhouse remedies when it comes to addressing a lot of those issues. And I found that it works really quick and effective in trying to help you bounce back from a number of these conditions whenever we encounter them. Now, another thing that's really important and really critical to know about oregano oil, yes, it has all these benefits, and sometimes people tend to get carried away and think, well, if it's so beneficial, why not take it on a regular, ongoing basis? Now, one thing to note about oregano oil is it's very strong and it's very heat producing in the body, and generally I wouldn't tend to use it over long periods. I tend to use it in those short bursts. As soon as I can feel like I'm recovering, I'll drop it off because it is very strong, it is very potent. So it's not one of those natural remedies that you want to use on a continuous basis, because it can tend to lead to other complications longer down the line, especially if you're someone who has a body that's already heating up because of your certain diet protocol. This could aggravate things. So just be mindful of that. You don't want to tend to overdo it as well when it comes to using these natural remedies. However, like I said, they're really effective in that short burst of time when you're trying to remedy a lot of these issues. Now, another thing that's quite helpful when it comes to oregano oil is if you have any sort of skin infection, fungus, then diluting this with a carrier oil such as maybe coconut oil or perhaps avocado oil, olive oil, you could just dilute it and apply it on the skin, and it's pretty effective for those skin conditions as well. So I always think of oregano oil as this powerhouse natural remedy solution that we generally want to keep close on hand to help us remedy a lot of these conditions that we tend to encounter. So as always, I hope this video has been helpful. And if you've used oregano oil and you found it to be great, or you have any comments, drop it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what your experience has been from using oregano oil. But as always, like I mentioned, none of this is medical advice, so please do your own research before using it. I'm just sharing with you my experiences and my go-to remedies when it comes to a lot of these conditions that we encounter, so that we don't have to resort to these over-the-counter medications, antibiotics that just wreak so much havoc on our bodies and just take us away from Mother Nature and result in us giving rise to all these super bugs out there, because they tend to become immune to a lot of these antibiotics. And like I said, it just wreaks havoc on our gut, and we don't want to have these sort of side effects. So why not go straight to Mother Nature and find out what are those natural solutions that we can use to remedy a lot of these conditions that we encounter. So as always, hope this video has helped, and I'll see you in my next video.